let you guys know the truth.
Yeah. And then all our world turned upside down.
All right, before we get into this video, guys, we gotta let y'all know it is Vlogmas Day 2. Look like I got it on 3. Vlogmas Day 2. Hey squad, it's your girl TT.
And it's your boy Jay Brent as always.
And we're back, y'all, with another video. But this video is more emotional.
Yeah, definitely emotional.
I don't know what else to say, but we want to share with you guys because we have been gone majority of the whole month of November. So we wanted to go ahead. We think we're strong enough now to share with you guys what's been going on. And thanks to everybody that was praying for us, showed us love. But we're gonna go ahead and
November 2nd, that's when it started. My mom was October 31st, Halloween. My mom was unresponsive with a seizure-like activity. We don't know if it was seizure, stroke, none of that, but she was just unresponsive. Still alert, eyes open, but she was shaking. And my stepdad found her, and then he called my brother in the room. My brother panicked, called 911, everybody, family, everybody rushed over there. When the ambulance got there, when my mother came to, she was, fussing at my brother, my stepdad, asking them why they yelling at her. So she heard them calling her name, but she just couldn't answer. So when the ambulance got there, they took her to the hospital, just to be on the cautious side. And she spent the next 48 hours in the hospital, which turned out to November 2nd. Since October 31st, since she was in the hospital, to November 2nd. Until 4 o'clock in the morning, she had no more seizure-like activities, stroke activities, until 4 o'clock Tuesday morning, which is November 2nd. My wife had stayed with her that night, and 4 o'clock in the morning, she FaceTimed all of us, my brother, my sister, me, and my cousin Tanya, more like a big sister. She called us on FaceTime, and she started having an activity like seizure activity. The nurses couldn't figure out why she was doing that, but she was still coming to and fro, alert and then unalert. At 6 o'clock even, right on the dot, 6 a.m., my mother coded. If y'all don't know what the words coded mean, it means she stopped breathing. She died. We rushed to the hospital, and for 21 minutes they worked on her. And they got her back. They got her pulse back after 21 minutes. And then, from then on, she was in a deep coma. The last words my mother was speaking was, "I can't breathe." And she said it like at least 10 times, I remember. And after that, she stopped talking. And then my wife pointed out to the doctor, telling the doctor, the nurse that was in there, that's not like seizure-like activity. This is not one of the episodes. Can you check her? When they checked her, she wasn't breathing. after that, my mom wasn't really in a place to do any type of pranks, blogs, videos. I didn't want to talk to nobody.
Nobody.
And the simple fact that all the family came out there that morning. They really showed support. You know, I really enjoyed everybody that came out there. And while we were waiting on the doctors to come in, they came in and gave us a report. You know, when somebody loses a lot of oxygen to the brain, it can be severe. And while we in the family room, our family got too loud. The doctors, the hospital was being kind of rude, trying to kick us out because the family was all there for support. They put us in the chapel, and they put us outside. There's just a lot going on.
Yeah, so we been dealing with that, trying to get back to normal, which is hard to get back to with all that going on. My mother-in-law, I've gained anxiety. I've always heard people talk about how they got anxiety so bad and anxiety this, but I've never dealt with it, and I am dealing with it this day. And it's no joke. And, you know, I didn't know anything. Trying to be strong, support, be there for him. And in the midst of me being sick in my body, I'm really trying. But we just want y'all to continue to pray for us, uplift us, you know, just be there for us, because we're really going through it, but we're trying to get back in regular routine, bring content for you guys, and, you know, because this help us get through, but it's not easy. So this is what we've been going through. This is why we haven't been posting. And it's the hardest thing that we've dealt with.
Yeah, this is
Kids.
unbelievable. And the fact that Tuesday on the 2nd, that's when my mom happened to my mother. The next day, my first cousin, my mother's niece, died unexpectedly. You know, and it's while we're trying to be strong for my mother, you know, having positive energy. Her niece ends up dying the next day. So our family actually went through it for a long time. And my cousin's funeral, we try to be strong for everybody that comes to show support, which we got dressed, show support. And after the funeral, we got a call saying my mother might be dying that night. And during that process, you know, throughout the whole time my mother was in the hospital, every day we can get a call saying, hey, rush to the ICU. Your mother might not make it the next hour or the next through the night. So every time my phone rang, anxiety started kicking in with me and my sisters and brothers and everybody involved, my wife, because it could have been a call saying my mother, you know, is gone. So every time the phone rang, it don't matter what time, 1 o'clock in the morning, 2 o'clock in the afternoon, 8 in the morning, 12 o'clock in the midday, it didn't matter because it gave us, you know, it gave us that phone call. So we had a rule between our circle that, you know, we had to text first before we call, you know, just to give us a little relief. You know what I'm saying? I'm about to call, so don't panic, you know. Even with the updates with the doctors, you know, having to sit in the family room while they give us the updates. You know, some days that they were saying, you know, she's doing a whole lot better than she was. She started to move a little bit, you know. And then there were some days, well, your mom might not make it. So it was just a up and down roller coaster, you know, just trying to stay strong, trying to had a faith, you know. And there was a point where the first time that, you know, I don't know, I'm not sure if y'all familiar with the hours of ICU, but during ICU, quiet times was between 2 and 4. So between 2 and 4, you're not supposed to have nobody back there, visitors. You can't come in if you're already back there before 2, and if you leave out during the hours, you cannot go back. And during that time, my sister, you know, she was staying up there for the first couple of days it happened. So between quiet time, my wife and my sister went home to my mother's house, her house, to you know, to freshen up, get clothes and stuff. While me and my brother go to the grocery store for the kids, because all the kids was staying at my house during this time, because we stay, you know, closer. So during that time, they called us. They called my sister and told my sister that something happened urgently and she need to get back because, you know, heart rate's dropping and she might be gone. So my sister panicked, called everybody up there, called me and my brother first, and all I can hear was screaming in the background, hurry up, get to the hospital, hurry up, get to the hospital. So me and my brother rushed up there, and as soon as we got there, we ran to the back. We didn't even stop to the front to check in. We just ran to the back. They following us. We panicking. We running through the hospital at fast pace. As soon as we get to the ICU room, they told us to calm down. Your mother's fine. But I'm not sure what my brother heard. He fainted. And when I turned around, doctors were surrounding him. You know, and I'm still on the phone with my sister and my wife, and you know, and they heard that Raymond fainted. You know, my big brother fainted. Wow. Trying to see if my mom was still alive. So at this point, my sister is really panicking, freaking out, because they still, you know, the first time she decided to leave throughout this process, something happened with my mother. So when they get here, my wife and my sister, as soon as my sister walked inside the hospital, in the doorway, she fainted. So at this point, you know, they can't find a pulse on my sister, you know, so they had to give us some Claritin under her nose to wake up. But when I got the phone call, my brother, you know, he was back up, and we got inside my mother's room, and I got a phone call saying, you know, come up here at the front. And it was my wife calling me. She just kept crying. And I'm like, babe, what's wrong? She said, just please come up to the front. I guess she didn't want to tell me. So I hopped up immediately and rushed to the front. And my brother tried to come with me. And I told my brother, just sit down and, you know, stay with mom because you already fainted. So if something happened, you know, I don't want him to faint again. So when I rushed to the front, I see at least 20 doctors surrounding one area. And when I rushed up there, I see my sister on the floor. Eyes, all I see is the white. Her eyes just rolled back to the back of her head, you know, and they trying to pump her, you know, and do things to try to wake her up. So, in less than a 15-minute span, my mom in the ICU, they told her she was dying. My brother fainted, my sister fainted, you know. So I just, you know, at that moment, you know, I couldn't cry. I did, but I couldn't because I knew, you know, I had to be strong at that moment. But remind you, my wife spent the night with my mother when she coded, you know, on the second. And then my sister now has fainted with no pulse in front of my wife. So it was devastating, traumatized her. At the same time, we already traumatized by having every phone call we get, the possibility that she gone. So it was just extremely, extremely rough. And it's a lot more, it just, I don't want to get into too much deep detail, but it's a lot more that occurred and happened, that I'm just not ready to speak on. I don't want to get too emotional. So, trying to keep the family updated. It was a lot. Everybody calling us every day, what's going on, any updates, and I told my sister, just don't give nobody no more updates. Cause the doctors was telling us, one day, like I said, she's doing a whole lot better. Her vitals coming up, she on 20% oxygen, but the next day, overnight or something happened. Well, now she's on 100% oxygen. We don't know. So, instead of just giving people updates every single day or every hour, I told her, that's it. If you believe in the words of prayer, just pray, regardless of the outcome, regardless of any updates. If you believe in the words, then whatever you pray, regardless of what kind of update we give you, it's going to be the same prayer, but it's all God's will, and that's what the prayer that we kept saying, if it's in your will, I'm just glad that, we had 3 weeks and then, with her in the ICU to be able to, come to more of a peace with it than just her leaving suddenly. And the fact that the kids kept seeing us, every other day run out to the hospital and rush. Every time we come home, they ask, is grandma dead? Because we rush out. And we're like, no, she's still with us. Just pray, continue to pray for her. But the worst part was having to tell all her grandkids that, she has gone to be with the Lord. So that was kind of the rough part because, we already cried at the hospital, and to come home after the fact to tell them, it brought back everything we thought we was, at peace with. So it's just, it's been a struggle. Now, if my wife or my sister leave the house more than an hour or two, I have an anxiety attack. If I don't talk to them for an hour or 2 hours, I have an anxiety attack. Like my wife, she can't. I have to go with her, or she have to go with me whenever I leave the house because she would have an attack. So it's just, if y'all believe in words of prayer, I know we're gonna get through this one day at a time. Well, not even one day at a time, one moment at a time. Because 10 minutes, I'm good. The next 10 minutes, I might not be good. So that's not gonna define my day though. So, you got anything, man?
Well, on a good note, in the midst of all this, our oldest Josiah has made the basketball team for his school.
JoJo.
And that definitely been keeping us, happy, motivated to go to his games and feel better.
I think that's the only time I get out of my bed and get dressed.
Yeah.
I've been in my bed all day, every day. Don't want to do nothing. Don't want to be bothered. It's just. But we put. What's weird is that we actually we tag my mother every time we do something or miss her or something happened with us or the grandkids. So we tag my mother's page like your second oldest grandbaby made the team. She used to call her Chocolate Bunny. JoJo was her chocolate bunny because he loved to eat chocolate. So every time she came over, she'd give him a piece of chocolate. Well, every time he came to her house, she'd give him a piece of chocolate. Even though I tell her no, she'll still do it behind my back. And it was early in the morning, like 8 o'clock. My sister been having her phone, but her phone was on her desk at the house, on my mother's desk at the house. And somebody congratulated JoJo from her phone, and nobody was at the house but my sister. And my sister was in the room asleep. So in that morning, my brother went in her room to smell a coat, and he put his phone on her side of the bed. His phone got knocked off the bed. So that the same morning, he was like, Mom, I know you here with us. I'm about to get out your room because you kicked me out because he threw the phone on the floor. And somebody congratulated JoJo, from her phone, from her Facebook, and nobody had a phone. So, I think there's signs that telling us, she's okay, she's with us. And that was a little bit more relieving, more baffled, but, it's a little bit of release, So I just pray she visits us in the dreams, and let us know she's okay. Well, we can get it to a little bit back of normalcy. It's hard though, but we try.
All right. Hey squad, I guess we're gonna end this video. Thank you guys so much once again. Make sure y'all subscribe to our channel if you're not. Leave us a nice comment. Lots of love. We need it.
Definitely. Make sure y'all comment that y'all love us. That'll be amazing to see during this time. Support, other
holidays are definitely
and
hard, so we're trying.
She died that Saturday. The funeral was that Saturday and Thanksgiving was that Thursday. So it's like,
Yep.
It's rough. So if y'all show support in the comment section, share it, do whatever you gotta do to show us your support, we would really appreciate it. Because every comment is a smile. Every share is a smile. Every subscribe is a smile. It might not mean a lot to you, but that smile may come at a point where I'm in my 10-minute span or 30-minute span, a 2-hour span where I don't want to be bothered. So if a notification come to my phone saying, one of the Page Squad fans
Thinking of you,
or we love y'all, or we praying for y'all, or I just shared your video, or I commented, it might help us out. You never know. So
thank you guys.